Spawning in the bottom left in the blue, he is the Infernal player. It's MSRM. And the upper right in the red, he is the Vanguard from Korea. It's Refresh. It's kind of fun. Really, hey, it's nice just getting the opportunity to chat with Nate about this for a little bit. I know he's been on and off about whether he likes the current version of Stormgate. Certainly, I think that's very fair. But he's always been a big supporter of the devs, and you know it's good to have him. We had him in Stormgate Nexus last year. He's a great guy, and it's good to talk to him and figure out exactly how this stuff happens. I don't know. I mean, I will be straight up with you all. I don't know what the optimal play is. I'm not sure these players know what the optimal play is. I mean, we are 48 hours, a little bit more. Oh, he's gonna trap him in. Oh, I don't know if this is a good thing or not, though. No, it is. Okay, great. He's got the servo overcharge on the natural, so he's gonna trap this brute in. There's the mass repair, so it's not gonna die. That is awesome. Okay, well, that just puts a little bit of a hiccup in the plans that MSRM may have had. As yes, this brute is going to be annoying, and you got to do some pullback micro on the scouts or not the scouts, on the servos to be able to be okay with that. But don't lose a servo though. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I said it was fine, but Refresh being a little too lazy there on that one, and also he's going to have to go cut these trees a little earlier than he would like because he got to actually deal with the brute. So pros and cons to this one. As a couple Lancers are going to pop out. 3 Lancers absolutely beat a brute down. So I would say we're fine. But this is 2 dead servos. Yeah, Mr. Brute, I'm not trapped in there with you. You're trapped in there with me. And that is absolutely true here. The brute is finally going to get chased down, and well, with the Lancers doing damage, the Fiends are going to be a little bit more stuck. But you should not be. I'm going to blame this down to being on, playing on centralized ping, because I've been trying to go and get damage done with my first brute against Vanguard players and all the games I played against them, and I don't think I've killed a single servo.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
But anyway, MSRM, he's opened Double Vault Conclave. Opened Double Vault Conclave with a 3rd base here, which he's gone and cut the trees down. So he's playing a much more macro-focused game than we saw Snockstar playing in any of the series we've seen Snockstar play today, which is kind of cool.
A Stormgate has appeared.
But he's also not really going to be able to contest this Stormgate. He's not playing for it. And I genuinely, outside of like the Double Dragon Cheese, which is strong, I genuinely think that it's probably better to play macro on tier 1 and just like not really go for the Stormgate. Now, if you're gonna go for it, I really think what we should have seen here is the Hellborn's gonna get jumped on top of by Refresh, and that's a little bit awkward right now. Brute's starting to fall down just a little bit, and there was like 1 Gaunt, so not a lot of curse applied. You're gonna say we need to see, yeah, okay, so a couple Lancers being left behind. They're gonna go deal with this as a Hellborn will fall. The Brutes are gonna fall down, and I was gonna say, I think the play in general is just not to contest it. I think it is better to like get yourself up to tier 2 tech, get your 3 bases, and be happy. But Refresh is able to go successfully contest this. He's able to kill off a lot of units, and he's actually leaving this behind, healing up a little bit, waiting. You get about 20 seconds to pick your reward. He's waiting just a little bit. He's going to get the Shadow Mark at the end, which I'm going to take a little bit of a credit here. You know, I'm going to take a little bit of credit in that I've been beating the drum on this concept for so long now. And that I've been talking about, like, I think it'd be really cool to have a banner that you bring back to your base that you plant in the ground and gives some AoE production speed boost. Now, this one is not a banner. This is not something that, like, so you don't have infinite time span on interacting with it, but it does buff up this habit. You can see I believe it's this habitat. It does buff up production speed by 40%, which is a lot. Like, it's permanent chrono on all these things. And if you're trying to go and get yourself some Hornets out and maybe some solar habitats on this as well, you're going to get a lot of Hornets out very quickly here. And that's going to be a really scary round 2 for this attack, because the Magmadon will be joining the fray. So the Lancers have to run away. Lancers good against many things. Insufficient numbers against Magmadons? No. That's not a thing. So now there's a Harbinger out on the map. It's got a Magmadon, a couple Gaunts, and a Brute inside. And is it going to go combat dropping? Answer looks like now for no, or no for now. But now we're in this awkward spot where the Hornets are on the map. Got 2 of them. And the drop's going to show up in the main base, and this is going to be a bit of a problem. Curse applied on everything. Stompy going down on all these servos. That's a lot of Phantoms getting generated. This is significant economic damage on top of what was already pretty much a 2-base all-in. For Refresh, he was very committed to this idea. He was not going for a third base, as that it will be a dead Harbinger, but he was not committed to a third base. He was very committed to this 2-base timing, and he just lost like a significant amount of servos. I don't know what the actual number was, but we don't have that tech just yet, but like 5 or 6 servos. And he was brought all the way back home, but now he's got this Lancer Hornet style, Lancer Hornet capabilities, and because this has been scouted out, now, MSRM is aware what's happening. Look at this walls that he's building. It's going to be very hard for these Lancers to go and get on top of that. So instead, it's going to be Hornets in the main base as the Shroud Stone spawns. So you're stuck in this awkward question. Do you lose the Shroud Stone? Is that the thing you're losing? Or do you lose a lot of mining time and economy in your main base? And it seems like for right now, that answer is neither. This is awkward. MSRM is not really responding to this. Looks like now he's finally moving over. He doesn't need the majority, and that means he's gonna have to give over likely this Stormgate. Now, I don't know if there's enough damage with Pure Lancer to make that happen, because Pure Lancer is not, well, it's not even Pure Lancer not being a ton of damage, it's just level 2 Stormgate, that's 3,000 damage you gotta do. And I don't know if he's gonna be able to steal it before MSRM returns over. It's gonna be very close here. He's going to continue to try to get the damage on. MSRM is actually targeting the units down, which means he can go get the storm. Oh, no. Oh, he committed to it. And now he's going to lose the Stormgate on top of the units. That was not the ideal at all whatsoever. If you're going to commit to it, commit to it. I think you can stand to lose like 1 more Lancer and make sure you keep it. But as it stands, with the 150% damage that you do because you lost the first Stormgate that MSRM lost, and just pulling away a little bit too soon, it means MSRM gets the tier 2, which I think, if you talk about the Stormgate rewards, I don't know that tier 2 is as strong as tier 1 or tier 3, but I think the exception is this Dark Throne. I think that this is insanely broken. I didn't realize that it gave you a recharge buff as well. So you get so many workers off this so fast. It's like it's a free 4th base. It is legit. Getting a free base and getting free workers to go with it is legitimately broken conceptually. So it's only because other things are maybe a little bit stronger that we're not seeing a ton of it. But now we're looking at a 4-base Vanguard player, or a 4-base Infernal player against a 2-base Vanguard, who is, in fairness, double solar habitating, shadow marking his production. Like, he is, in fact, producing things very quickly, but he needs to go do things right now. He needs to go and kill off significant value from MSRM, or he is just going to get a snowball out of this game by this Dark Throne. So he's got a 3rd base on the way. Now, I think you cut the trees down here instead of going around the corner. 3rd base is on the way, but it's still 3 bases to 4, and his army's not all that great just yet. There's no quick draw hustle, so the Exos can't really build their concaves that much faster. And I mean, just look at all of these Hellborn on the high ground. They don't do splash damage on tier 2 anymore, but they just do a lot of damage. And they're very happy to sit there on the high ground with what is not the range they used to have. It's 8 range, not 14, but they're just very happy to sit there and cause problems, and the tech's just not here. You do need, it feels like you need Atlases or something, Vulcans, to properly be happy. Now, the Vulcans are going to find, or the Hornets are going to find this north side base. We're going to have, okay, those are Sky Mines, but, oh no, Refresh was not paying attention. He got the base, he did, but he just lost every single Hornet. And by the way, we're on tier 3. Where is my, there we go. We're on tier 3. We have Raging Tendons on the way, so kiting away from these Magmadons is not going to be not all that easy anymore. And Refresh
Dimensional rift detected.
Feels kind of dead in this game.
Will activate soon.
It feels like a very difficult situation to fight against. He needs to hold on to this 3rd base, or he's out of the game 100%. So Magmadon will get targeted down. That's a decent start here. And if you can go quick draw hustle, get on top of all these Hellborn, they do fall down very quickly, right? They're heavy units, actually do bonus damage to them. You can dash on top and take them down. Very powerful indeed. So that's the idea. You got to target them down with the Magmadon Raging Tendon straight on top of everything. Healing's actually really good, though. And Refresh now getting on top of this army, not really worrying about the Stormgate on the right side, but he gets Raging Tended by more Magmadons. One, you can target down, but as more Gaunts are getting added into this army, as you get more Magmadons, no longer can this be a really good fight. So Magmadons are going to run in once again. They're going to get targeted down, but it does not matter anymore. Getting this Dark Throne mattered so very much. That, and just kind of losing a couple fights, losing all the Hornets. Imagine how much better this is if the Hornets are in this fight. Yeah, they don't do a ton of damage versus these Hellborn, but Hellborn don't shoot up anymore. So you add all those Hornets that died, you add those on top of things, it's actually pretty solid. But as it stands, this is probably an unwinnable situation, I think. Yeah, no, this is dragging out. This is unwinnable for Refresh at this point. He's got to be forced to tap out here. But I really am starting to like this matchup. We're seeing some very cool interplay as, yeah, MSRM takes game one. So here we are, Broken Crown, map number 2, game 1. Very cool back and forth. Opened up with about 12 odd Lancers that took a surprisingly decent trade. Took down Hellborns early, got the first Shroud Stone, turned it into a Shadow Mark, and tried to turn it into a 2-base all-in. Didn't quite work out. Didn't quite work out for him. But didn't quite work out for him. He lost to the Hornets on the left side. That's just not what you're looking for. So a little bit awkward there. He lost a little bit more than he would have liked to, but again, very cool back and forth game. And I think the really cool thing about this, also the decision to back away from the Stormgate when you were like 99% claiming it and leaving it to the Hornets to get the last 2% when the Hornets do like no damage to ground. Just a little bit unfortunate. Zai said, Zai just tipped $6.90, 6.9 USD. Love how much you're helping Stormgate out there. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Zai. I'm assuming that's XAI is pronounced Zai. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoy the work I'm doing, and glad you're enjoying the games, because that's the important part. Glad you're enjoying what the players are able to put on stage for us, as we're going to see this Bob nonsense once. Oh, whew, almost got him trapped there. This brute nonsense in the early game. I don't really think you should lose more than one. I don't think you should lose any at all, but again, cross server ping, it is what it is. As it stands, servers are gonna have to get pulled into this a little bit, and that means that this brute should die. Yeah, okay, we do have the mass repair with the Lancer doing damage on top. So this brute should die, shouldn't get more than like the one servo that we already saw go down, and it's just a scout at the end of the day. Overcharge is gonna get popped to build more. Yeah, okay. To build more mech base, so he's going for the Hedgehog idea once again. That worked very well against Noxstar in that last series. And yeah, so you get a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure going on early, and I did like this style that he was playing, that Refresh playing against Noxstar, where you go double Hedgehog. Unfortunately, only one Hedgehog on the way at the moment. Not quite enough Therium because of the harass. But you go double Hedgehog, you put this pressure, you put this like Lancer Hedgehog pressure. You're not really fighting for the Stormgate. Instead, what you're doing is you're fighting to kill the units that are contesting the Stormgate. That really has been this idea that I've seen that this looks pretty good. Is we got a macro shrine here coming down.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate.
Oh, actually, he's in a really good position for the Stormgate as well. So I said, he's not going to contest it, but if the Stormgate's just right here and your units are here, it doesn't hurt to at the very least start to put some pressure on. If MSRM doesn't contest, it's a free Stormgate. If he does contest, well, you slow him down a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier for you to poke it down.
A
so
Stormgate has appeared.
Lancers and Hedgehogs are going to work our way at this thing. It's only about 1,000 damage that you got to do, so it's not that bad. And we're going to see it, start to slowly creep forward just a little bit more. G-Bass saying, how are you finding the games now with the Stormgates? Is it leading to more action on the maps? Yes. Absolutely, 100% yes. As the Stormgate's going to get claimed here. MSRM just choosing to not to really engage with that one and that concept in this game too. But what did we get, by the way? We got a Power Stone. Okay, so do you choose to avatar a hedgehog? Now, this has got to be for Vulcans at tier 2, as we got this Weaver on the high ground, so this pressure probably shouldn't really amount to too much. Because what is this Power Stone being brought forward here? I don't think there's anything worth Power Stoning on the tier 1, unless you're using it as a save? Yeah, okay, well, it was this hedgehog, right? No, oh, there it is. There's this just big boy Lancer. He's doing not actually a lot of damage, all things considered. He's tanky. But I don't think avataring, I think it's worth saving that Power Stone to get Vulcans. I mean, he looks cool. You know, he's a big beefy boy. He's got 480 HP, but I don't know that this is totally worth doing. But yes, the answer, G-Buzz, is that we are seeing, I think, a lot more interaction on the map. We had a very cool series between a very cool game on Boneyard between Snockstar and Ariel, where they started fighting for the first Stormgate. They didn't stop fighting until the second Stormgate spawned, where they briefly stopped fighting to run over to try to contest the second Stormgate, and then started fighting again. Like it was just constant interaction from like minute 3 onwards, because you had to set up for the Stormgate. Very, very cool games. We had some very cool Infernal versus Vanguard games between Refresh and MSRM, or Refresh and Snockstar, as well as he's gonna dive on top of this army, try to take the Hellborn down. Of course, bonus damage versus heavy is very good. 1 Hellborn falls, and the cards, they're just gonna run away. They don't have a ton of HP. They actually, Weavers can lash them in, and that's useful, but Weavers don't do a ton of damage to the Hogs. Not really, so the Weaver has to run away. More Hellborn continue to fall down here, and this little bit of harass poking down the tech has been extremely effective for Refresh in this game. That was like 3 Hellborn, 2 Weavers, and behind this, he's got his third base done. He's adding in Cyber, well, I keep wanting to call this a Cyber Core. It's a Biolab. It looks like a Cyber Core, though. It's like that circular shape. He's got the Biolab on the way, so there should be into quick draw hustle probably. And he's going this like hog bio idea. Actually, wait, what am I saying? When he was doing this, I was gonna say quick draw hustle. No, this is just for medtechs. All right, this is probably gonna be primarily for medtech nanoswarm, so you can go in and heal up your mech army just a little bit more. For now, what do we got? Do we have charge? We do not. No Infernal Fury done on the side of these, of the Brutes, which is awkward. It is a very late charge. We're seeing Infernals play with like charge at 340, 330, depending on how you open. This is a very late charge, and that means these Brutes they're great big meat shields. They do some damage, but they are not the impactful units that we're used to seeing. So you continue to dive in, find some value, but it does mean that the Dragon is out very quickly. And while these hedgehogs in anti-air mode can actually do a lot of damage to the Dragon, it is a little bit awkward. So Refresh sees the Dragon Head, is like, okay, back up here. I'm not gonna fight this. It's not worth it. Instead, I'm gonna make sure that I get the tier 2 Shroud Stone. Probably gonna try to go for the Sky Hunter, so you have a little bit more anti-air. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get some sentry posts at home, gonna buy some time, and I'm gonna get double Hornets out. So that seems to be the play, is that we're gonna try to keep an eye on what's happening in this natural, as this harass seems like it's been dealt with on the right side. Dragon got, I don't know, some amount. I don't know exactly how many it was, but it got like 3 or 4 servos at the very least, as Axos are getting popped out here, doing some damage to the Dragon. And on the other side, what are we getting out of this Stormgate? That's the really important question. I think Sky Hunters are probably the giga win, as he's considering here, as he's dealing with other things. What did he get? No, okay, it's just gonna be the unstable Necrolusks, which I haven't seen to massive effect yet. They seem conceptual. I mean, there's 200 damage in an AoE. That just, if you can get those on top of an army, they burst it, but they are so slow. They're painfully slow. 2.5 movement speed, that getting them to make contact feels difficult. In fact, the Dragon's gonna find them. So yeah, they're not gonna do much. It's really not gonna be able to accomplish too much of everything. One's gonna go down. There's an explosion. Second one gets popped as well. I gotta imagine there was something better. Voice Samuel asking, does Power Stone work on evacs or medtechs? Yes, it works on everything. It works on every single unit. You go, you become, I don't know if we still have the Power Stone Lancer. I don't think so. Looks like Power Stone Lancer has died. But as, okay, Necrolust finding its way on forward here onto the front line. Does a lot of damage on the front line. Takes a lot of those brutes down. But the problem is, I mean, look at this Magmadon army. This army is not equipped to deal with this number of Magmadons with the dragons on top. It is a disaster here for Refresh. He just got stomped on through, trying to fight onto the high ground from the low ground with all these Magmadons and just not enough anti-heavy. Yeah, no, absolutely, that is never going to be a good fight for him. He just got the ramp run down and all the Magmadons just stomped the hell out of him. So now MSRM is going to find its way into the natural. And it looks like this game number 2 is going to go really the way, well, okay, well, Dragon's going to go down, I think. Hornet's not chasing the Dragon down. Thought the Dragon was going to go down. But as it stands, Refresh trying desperately to hold on here, but remember, he's only on 3 bases. His opponent is on 4. There's more economy. There's more tech. The army's better. These ramparts are doing what they can to keep some of the structures alive, to like give this SimCity wall to make sure the Magmadons can't properly get on top of things. And actually, he will hold. I'm not going to say he's going to win the game.
Dimensional rift detected.
But Refresh will hold just a little bit, but it's not. Once the moment you move out here, the Dragon's here. There are enough gaunts. These Exos do not have tier 3 upgrades. They're getting shredded. So this is just about the end of the game. At this point is tier 3 Stormgate will not matter for the 2nd time in a row. We've been watching this tier 3 Stormgate spawn pretty much as the game ends, which is pretty fun, but Refresh is going to be forced to tap out. GG, he says, game 2. Just like game 1, goes the way of MSRM. Hey, I don't think anyone's going to say that Stormgate is done yet. As Norris said right before we got into game, he's like, you know, I'm in this strange place where I don't really watch or play RTS games, but I love watching the GSL and this. And I don't think anyone's going to argue that Stormgate is where it would like to be. But the very cool thing actually is that they have gone and they have finally, no, not quite, gotten very close. But they've gotten very, very close to being able to go and deliver like at least the alpha version. No, they have. Yeah, if we're talking about the alpha version, they have delivered the alpha version of the 4 pillars of Stormgate. They have an alpha and probably beta or further along campaign. It's not done yet, but it's by design never going to be done, right? It's going to be having continuous episodes as long as Stormgate exists. But they have 5 pretty good missions, all things considered. Are they the best ones ever? I'm not a big I'm not a campaign snob. I can't really tell you, but they're good. I enjoyed them. I had fun. That's really what matters. They have 1v1, probably the most developed game mode. We had playtests of Team Mayhem back at the start of the year, alpha tests of that, and now the terrain editor is in alpha testing. So they have exposed all four modes of all 4 pillars of what they want out of Stormgate to the public in some way, shape, or form, which is awesome. It's again, we're not done yet. We're not there yet, but that's a big milestone. And that's I'm actually really excited to start to have even just the alpha testers on the map editor. I'm very excited to be able to start to play with community maps, expand the map pool a little bit, have maybe my own like, yes, the Stormgate Nexus BeoMulf like map pool that we play on and we figure things out. Play running free for all, like all this stuff I think is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see players getting access to it and doing things with it. I agree, Norris. Yeah. I do hope it succeeds in a big way. I love StarCraft 2. It's such a great and complex game, and I think Stormgate could do the same things in terms of watchability and complexity. Yeah, I'm with you. It's not as complex right now. They're just not enough units and not enough interaction. So it's like it's hard to have a bunch of different
dimensional rift
hard to really have a bunch of different what's the word I'm looking for? A bunch of different compositions right now. Just because we're lacking units. We're gonna get those eventually. Just not in yet. But adding these Stormgates has added a lot of complexity to the game. Like, do you fight it? Do you contest it? Do you set yourself up on the assumption that your opponent's going to go contest it and you dive into their main base afterwards, which it seems Like, that is exactly what Refresh wants to do, but it's also what MSRM's doing. 2 ships in the night here. Army moves on to the other side of the map because both players are like, okay, you know what? This Stormgate is so far away. Why would I try to go contest it? But Refresh's first move is advantage. He's on top of these imps extremely fast. Now, does he have any stag defense on the other side? The answer, a resounding no. Absolutely not. That is not a thing. But he does have overcharges available, and point-click defense, not nearly as much of a thing in this, or for Infernals, as it is for Vanguard. You have Sentry overcharge, or you have Servo overcharge. That is something that you can do that keeps you alive a little bit longer. So Natural is going to lose just about everything, as we're going to see this Harbinger, or the Hellborn, get taken down as well. So everything that exists on the side of MSRM on his base is getting slowly taken down. On the other side, well, there's a sentry post. A buzzsaw cannon is doing a lot of damage here. We'll get taken down, but it is something. And we're now in a very interesting base trade that this favors the Vanguard player. I'm pretty confident in saying that, yeah, this favors the Vanguard player by quite a bit. So yeah, this is going to get taken down. Servo overcharge on the Natural now that it comes off that global cooldown. But of course, the more energy you have across more bases, the more likely it is to be up. And Refresh is going to be able to kill the rest of this army. He's got to kill these imps. That is really the story here. Okay, he's going to be able to get on top of it because MSRM is still mining. Refresh, not really. Not at all. So we're in this situation now where Refresh has a much better army. Doesn't really have much of an economy. You're going to try to get on top of the rest of... Okay, well, oh man, the Gremlins, they're causing so many issues. You got to target down the Hellborn. He's not able to do so just yet. The Gremlins being very annoying here. You take the Hellborn, you win the game. Very simple. The Hellborn is okay. Hellborn's dead. You're not going to get... You don't have enough money to get any more high-tech thing from MSRM. In fact, he canceled... I don't know where he got the money... Oh, no. He's mining in the main base. Okay. Yeah, no, this is awkward now. I thought there was no mining for MSRM, and he's still not in a great spot, but he was able to get another Hellborn out, 240 HP. Does a lot of damage, right? Does 30 damage a shot. But the Hellborn are not, or the Hedgehogs are not heavy, so they're just going to get dove on top of. They're going to get taken down, and I don't think this is holdable for MSRM anymore. He did a good job of it, of crisis management, but yep, he is dead. We go to game 4. Ignore the Stormgate. Base trade. It's good. So now it's game number 4. I was hoping we were going to see another really cool big macro game, but it turns out that if there are 2 entrances into a main and the Stormgate spawns pretty far away from everyone, yeah, you just go base trade. And I was talking to Nate about this. We're talking about this all day, but one of the really cool things, and there was someone who was really mad about Stormgates. Like, conceptually really mad about the concept of Stormgates. Because he's like, I don't like that, like, the beauty of an RTS is that there are no true objectives outside of your opponent's bases. Like, everything else is freeform decision making, which is a totally fair argument. But also, by incentivizing these inflection points of 3:30, 7 minutes, 10:30, moving forward, by incentivizing these inflection points, that doesn't mean that everyone has to go to the middle of the map and fight over them. You can go and go for base trade like we saw, go for harass. You can go and choose to macro up like we've been seeing MSRM do and not really contest the Stormgate. Maybe like poke it a little bit and slow it down, but not really contest it on tier 1. You can all in on the Stormgate. You can go 3 racks on 2 base and build like 12 Lancers and just try to win the fight. There are a bunch of different ways to approach it. You can just, like we saw, who was it? We saw Refresh go, and he went for a Hornet play that harassed his opponent's main base, that pulled the army back to the main base, that allowed him to secure the Stormgate. Like, it is, obviously it is not fully developed, and there will be iterations on Stormgate timing and HP and values and what the rewards are. But already, like, the decision space is so vast that I really enjoy it. First Hog's going to show up in the main base and see what he can find, but because this was a very quick shrine. Sorry, not even a very quick shrine. This was Hog first, or Barracks first, coming out of MSRM in this game number 4. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you be greedy here. I'm not going to go triple shrine. That's expensive. So he's going to kill off an imp. He's going to get himself a gun. Is this... Oh, nice spawn there. Is going to make sure that Hog goes down. So now he's just got to pull out just a little bit and run away. And this is one basement, right? The servos are running down to the natural now. But I don't think this was worth it. I understand the desire to go punish the triple shrine idea, but I don't think you've gotten enough done off this. Jeff Bessos saying AoE would like a word. You have multiple win conditions. That is very fair. But the person I'm talking about was a very big fan of, like, specifically
dimensional
as where's that? Oh, good positioning there for Refresh.
Soon.
But is a big fan of, like, Blizzard style RTS games in particular. As, by the way, I know there's a fight happening and we're gonna have to talk about the fight, but I didn't really notice until right now. But, like, look at that infinite abyss of red flame or whatever it is beneath this beneath the vault box. Look at that. Ooh. Like, you're peering into a different world as you get. That's really cool. Anyways, Stormgate's gonna get claimed by Refresh. Synapsel X saying big Hellraiser vibes. Yeah, no, I know that Alan, we were talking about this. He's like, yeah, the Hellraiser box. Took a lot of inspiration from the Hellraiser box when he was doing this stuff. Which is, that's actually when we go with the Pandora, when we get the, I still think it's just a Hexen replacement, but when we get the new caster, that is not 100% done yet, but when we get that added in, he's also, that box that she floats on is also like big Hellraiser vibes. Not hot enough, him and Curl. You say each vault is powered by a bedrock portal to Texas? Nah, Arizona. Death Valley. And Hellraiser is a very cool phrase. Yeah, I'm with you. It's pretty underrated. People don't talk about it, but I took this class on what, like, a society's monsters say about that society. And so we didn't watch like all the like full viewing of all these movies, but we watched, you know, a decent amount of them, clips and things. And the professor was a big Hellraiser fan. We got a bit of a backstab getting ready here with the, you're gonna learn these names eventually, but the Creeping Horror, which can dash forward and then does this AoE slow attack. That's pretty cool. So for now, trees are gonna get taken down. Sentry post on the way, and this likely is gonna be for, well, I don't know if it's gonna be a Repairmatic or a Buzzsaw turret. Not totally sure, but this attack's gonna come in right as MSRM's trying to get himself up to tier 3. And let's see if he can defend against this one. By the way, Creepy Horror has a fairly long attack range, actually. So he can just sit on the other side of these trees and slow everything down and do this. What's the damage? 16 damage to heavy. That's kind of cool. Now, this is not really going to work out, though, unfortunately. It's a cool idea, but takes a little bit too long to single build a single build a sentry post. Doesn't really work out for you all that well. So the slow is going to be good. It's going to be applied to a lot of these units here, and that does mean that the Weaver's going to fall. So you chase him down a little bit, you poke it out, bait MSRM leaving his base, and you get some pretty good trades. So behind this, of course, third base is done, starting to get saturated by MSRM as Refresh solidly on 2 bases. Doesn't really seem to have much of a concept of going up to tier 3 for the time being, as Kinetic Redirect on the field. He's getting just this more developed bio army, and it seems like he is very interested in playing for these 2 base timings. That seems to be how he's playing a lot of this matchup. Now, you have to be careful here, as we're going to see another effigy get taken down. We are 20 seconds from the next Stormgate. This Stormgate is going to be something that,
rift detected.
as a
Stormgate will activate soon.
I know it's 20% of the time, but it feels like it happens more often than that, where we get the duplicated Stormgate positioning. But it is this is a Stormgate that is theoretically easier for MSRM to take, just because, again, he gets that bonus damage. Fight kicking off on 2 sides. Dragon is out now, and you got to run from this one.
A Stormgate
this is
appeared.
Not easy. This is not really a fight you can take. Not into the Dragon, not with only part of your army. So you've got to back it a little bit, clean off some of the ground chaff, and then have to back away once more. And on the north side, looks like there is enough defense between the imps being pulled and the gaunts there. It is something, it does lose some mining time. But this was supposed to be the sledgehammer that made this attack worthwhile. You run in, kill a bunch of imps on the third base, and that's fine. As it stands, that's not the case. There's no quick draw hustle on these Exos. They're gonna get taken down. They're gonna get found out. And now the dragon on the other side of the map. This was a 2-base all-in that did not kill. Refresh is a third base now. He's building 3 more barracks, but at the very least, he's gonna lose the second Stormgate, which again was already a difficult thing to hold on to. But he's gonna lose the second Stormgate, and if I don't know exactly what MSRM wants to do here. You could very easily just get a Darkhold and go to 4 bases fast and just continue to have this big economic lead. But no, he's gonna go try to, okay, this makes a lot of sense. He's just gonna go try to break his opponent. The Vile Lurker does 210 damage to structures, splash. It's got 14 range. It's slow. It's very slow, but, oh, I guess not as slow as the Unstable Necrolesk. But it is a problem. This unit here, what it does more than anything else, it forces Refresh to come out of his little hidey hole and fight his opponent. That is not an easy thing to do. It's very good against these sieged up hedgehogs as well. And this sieged up position on the low ground is just, I don't think that, Refresh cannot fight from this position. He's got to find some way out onto the map and go around, but it just, this Vile Lurker is doing way too much. Now, you might say, hey, Beo, isn't that broken? That we're in this position right now where the Stormgate just ended the game. It's like, no, the Stormgate didn't end the game. Refresh going for a 2-base protracted timing, losing his army, and getting teched out of the game, lost him the game. The Vile Lurker just ended it. As we're gonna see, yep, Refresh has to tap out here, so he's gonna go play one more series this evening. As MSRM, he wins this, takes down Ariel, takes down Refresh along the way, and he is your victor of Stormgate Patch Day for the 0.5 patch. Congratulations, of course. If you like this, you want more Stormgate, follow the Twitch channel, or follow my YouTube, and sub to me on Twitch, or sub to the YouTube, follow me on Twitch. There we go. Catch you next time.